All right, welcome back. Tulsi Kratz, Bernie Kratz, free radicals of all stripes, Green Party people, libertarians, whoever you are. I don't judge. I don't like labels. I'm here because I believe that our country is in real big trouble, and apparently the Democratic Party is going to continue that trouble. Tonight is the big debate. Steyer from Hill TV's Rising had a great monologue. Let me read some of it here, maybe most of it. The Democratic debate hasn't even started, but I think we can be reasonably certain how it's going to go. How do I come to this certainty? Well, all you need to know is who's asking the questions. It's CNN, people. Is it Anderson Cooper tonight doing questions? He's CIA deep state operative Anderson Cooper tonight. I don't know. By the way, I don't have CNN. I was relying on like Convo Couch last time, their feed, and apparently that feed got, cut off. I don't have CNN because why would I watch CNN? Anyway, the New York Times demonstrated Saturday morning exactly why I'm so certain that the debate will be rigged in favor of Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Steyer. I'm going to add another name here, Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer. While Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang are in for a hell of an evening. Yeah, I think they all are. I think Tulsi being there with Bernie and Yang, though, does provide a little bit of cover. In the sense that all of these candidates should be helping one another. Yang on foreign policy, I really struggle with his foreign policy because it's very neoliberal. So I don't know. I'm not enthusiastic about Yang in that regard, although I do like UBI. But then you've got Biden, Warren, Buttigieg, right, and Harris, and now Steyer. Steyer has an endless amount of money. Billionaire Tom Steyer is ready for a crazy 12-person Democratic debate. There he is. Mr. Impeach, impeach, impeach. And that's all we're going to hear. And that's going to help who? Which person who's living paycheck to paycheck is he going to help? How are his ideas going to help people? Impeachment activist. Businessman turned impeach. So he's another businessman. You know how he raised his money? How he earned all his money? He's a hedge fund manager. Sorry about the underwear there. These ads on these channels are crazy. But this is how I do analysis. So, you just have to deal with it. Saturday morning was, of course, the time of release for this gem of a story on presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard. I've covered this twice, that the story was a smear piece. The friend of Russia argument. I could do an entire monologue dismantling that ridiculous article, but it's emblematic of the pervasive bias that we will witness tomorrow evening. We already know the cushy treatment that Elizabeth Warren will receive. How? Well, of course, New York Times said that any criticism of Warren's past is part of the GOP's sexist playbook against who? Hillary Clinton? Really? Look, people, Hillary Clinton actually won the popular vote. All right, now I'm not saying she should be president based on that, but she actually got more votes than Trump. She just campaigned in the wrong places or didn't campaign at all. This had nothing to do... Sexism did not do any damage to Hillary Clinton. Playing the victim, by the way, is not going to help people who are truly victims of a government that has screwed them over repeatedly. Playing the victim is not going to help the victims of our military assaults over the last, 50, 60 years. We can go on, but that's another video, probably. They already told us how they feel about Warren's Native American heritage. Her story is plenty enough. Look at this. The story is plenty enough for them. See, they're trying to nominate the... Are they trying to let Donald Trump win, though? Maybe is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to nominate somebody who is the weakest candidate to go up against Trump. I don't like Biden, but I think he's a better candidate to go up against Trump for various reasons. Number one, minorities don't seem to like Elizabeth Warren. They like Bernie, and they like Biden for some reason because of the Obama connection there. But they don't trust Elizabeth Warren. They look at her and they see ivory tower, elitist, somebody who may have a lot of brain power but not much in the way of common sense. And I'm sorry, I'm a simple man, okay? Tell me what you're going to do for me. Tell me how you're going to govern the country. Tell me how you're going to just do these things that are so important. You know, another news story this morning I watched on television that I think right now the average college student is leaving college $25,000 in debt. Yeah, welcome to the real world, right? Hey, we told you had to go to college. We brainwashed you. Your guidance counselors in high school said you got to go. Come out. You don't have a job and you're in debt. That's great. And that's what our country is doing to, thousands of students every year. And I want to know how you're going to fix that problem. You're hurting the economy too, because these people have no buying power. They can't buy anything. They can't buy a car or a house. They're too far in debt. A lot of them are moving back home. It's not a stereotype. It's true. Anyway, don't expect nary a skeptical question from them to Warren about her past, except as an opportunity to demonize skeptics as sexist pigs. We have so much to look forward to, don't we? I don't have CNN. I might have to just watch highlights or something. And maybe somebody will put the Tulsi highlight reel together. Tulsi and or Bernie. And then you could put together the Tom Steyer spooky Halloween reel for me, too. Somebody wants to do that. Impeach, impeach, impeach. What's your idea on climate change? Impeach. To Joe Biden? Why, you already know the answer. They're not going to even talk about the Hunter Biden thing. Why? Because the Trump memo, something he wrote down or said to the Ukrainian leader over there, is far worse than Hunter Biden using his dad to earn millions of dollars. And they say it's unfounded. It's unfounded. I've heard both people on the left and the right absolutely tear this apart. I think Tim Pool was really struggling with this in a video I watched that he did. But he said you'd be really dumb not to talk about what's going on with Hunter Biden and how it's nepotism. It's full-blown nepotism. The best part, of course, is that all you need to disprove this ridiculous claim at the very top of a New York Times story about the subject is the New York Times' own reporting. They'll ask Biden some version of a question about how his son's past has been weaponized against him by Trump, as if it's Trump's fault that Hunter Biden got this job. It's Trump's fault. Anyway, you go on and on. This is a great monologue. Debates are supposed to be a battle for the ethos of a party. The DNC's concentrated control and partnering with establishment media institutions ensures the scrutiny Americans so badly need through this process will be denied. This is a great monologue. It's also like they wanted to prove Tulsi Gabbard's point when she said that she was considering skipping the debate. Remember my first video on this topic? I said, this article proves Tulsi Gabbard's point. The article proved that the New York Times article, when she was saying that the media was colluding or sort of, sheep herding everybody into this little box. Come over here with us. We're going to put Tom Steyer up. We're going to give him a podium tonight. Tom Steyer? Seriously? I mean, I'd rather see, Marianne Williamson, at least, would be interesting. I'd rather see her. I mean, any of these anti-establishment candidates that don't fit into the corporate box, I'd rather see on stage because they've got new ideas and they're not talking from the impeach Trump playbook. Because impeaching Trump, best thing impeaching Trump would do, is get you Mike Pence as president. That's the best thing it would do. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because the other things that would happen, number one, it misses because the Senate's not going to convict, all right? And that means, of course, Trump will go into the election stronger. And he can play that victim card, and he is a victim. This is the problem the media doesn't get. Trump is a victim. He will be seen as a victim. He's going to drive people to vote for him, not on policy, but on how he's been treated. Because nobody likes to see anyone treated unfairly. And a lot of the Tulsi supporters who supposedly swarm, we're like bees on the internet. We're swarming critics. Yeah, we're swarming because you guys are wrong. I'll swarm all day long on Twitter to tell people that you're wrong about Tulsi. Oh, she's just a Russian asset. Oh, okay. Yeah. Where's the proof of that? You don't need proof. You just throw out these claims. Do it over and over again. So what do I think about tonight? What's going to happen? I'll throw that into this little diatribe here. I think Tulsi will throw some haymakers. I think she's got to. I think it's in her best interest to mix it up and continue doing what she's done before, which has been enormously successful. I'm hoping she can still run ads at some point when she's the most searched candidate. Although, here's my prediction. While everybody is worried about Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, maybe what Tulsi Gabbard is going to do and say, maybe she's going to try to take someone out, I am most worried about Tom Steyer. And I hope I'm wrong. I just have this feeling, I have this hunch that the fact that he's out there and he wasn't, keep in mind, this is his first debate. And if you don't think he's not going to just go all in on the tribalist MSNBC talking points, he's going to try to jockey for that new position that Elizabeth Warren has. And I'll tell you what, there are going to be a lot of neolibs who are way more comfortable with the billionaire hedge fund manager than the make-believe progressive who is throwing out talking points that sound good to progressives but make some of these neolibs maybe a little worried. They shouldn't be worried because I think Liz will just, she'll cave as soon as the general election comes along. It's going to be, hey, unilateral disarmament? We don't do that. We need all the money we can get. She's going to be one of them. She's going to be just another corporatist. Right now, she's just, again, talking to primary voters. Once she gets to the general, we've seen this a million times, by the way, where you pivot to the middle, and she'll do a hard pivot. She's going to do the greatest makeover since that show. What was it called? Home Makeover? She's going to do a better makeover than Home Makeover. And it's going to be something that is going to be heavily consulted, and she's going to try to appeal to down-home folks. She's going to go back to her roots. Was she from Oklahoma or something originally? She's going to throw on that look. Maybe they'll put her in a different outfit. They'll do her hair differently. They'll figure this out. But that's what we're going to get instead of any substantive policy discussion. Foreign policy is going to remain the same. The tanks might be greener, but they'll be meaner because, again, she'll be walking around with military generals, signing off. She is a deep state op. She is part of the whole deep state operation. She is fine with bombing brown people in other countries. She's fine with it. She hasn't said anything against the foreign policy. In fact, didn't she give money to Trump that Trump didn't even ask for or Trump didn't even need? Voted for this bloated military budget. Why would you do that? Why? Because She lives in Massachusetts, right? She's a senator in Massachusetts? Raytheon. There you go. So it's pretty simple. You're going to get the same thing. All right? So Steyer is a guy who's just anti-Trump. And it's and you're running on the anti-Trump ticket, and he's betting that he can rile the anti-Trump MSNBC base and become the new darling of all of these channels, and there's a good possibility he might be able to do that. He's not going to go down in the polls after tonight. He's going to go up. I can guarantee it. And by the way, that's going to squeeze more and more of the progressives off to the side. Bernie and Tulsi are going to be scrapping for those votes, and unless you get a whole new influx of people who've not been engaged in the political process before, we are going to see yet another neoliberal just get to the top. That's why I always say we need a third way, people. Whether it's the Green Party, just an independent party that is just, I don't know. But you need another process around. The fact that we're all worried about what's going to happen on this corporate news channel with these corporatist bought-off news people tonight. I mean, if I really dove hard into what this is tonight, I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is right. It's reality TV. Now, she wants to be on reality TV because she wants to try to show that this, and I'm hoping that they'll take her bait and ask the question about, so you think this is rigged? Tell us how it's rigged. I don't think they're going to go there with that question, because that would be teeing it up for Tulsi and she would hit it out of the park. I don't think she'll go there. But if she gets an opportunity and she sees, you know what? If Tulsi Gabbard sees some crap going on between like a Warren and a Steyer and Buttigieg and Harris, who she's already pretty much kneecapped, she's going to jump in and say, see, it's just reality TV. We're not talking about the issues people care about. There are people living paycheck to paycheck. There are rents that are too high for people. You can't afford to buy a house because you're strapped with student loan debt. And then, of course, you got these big Wall Street entities that bought up all of the cheap houses back during the last crash, and they rented them out, and they're slumlords. And nobody's addressing that issue. And I could go on and on. But the bottom line here is that Tulsi Gabbard, she can look at the mess that's on stage and say, look, told you so. Here it is. So I'm glad she's in the debate. I'm glad I had a kind of a feeling she was just using this to kind of leverage this and to talk about this so people had an awareness of it. Because now there'll be a few people who go into this and they'll say, Tulsi's right. It's a dog and pony show. It's just a reality TV show. And why do you think Donald Trump did so well? Reality TV star, right? And they're just transplanting him from his natural habitat to another habitat, which he made again into his natural habitat. And he insulted people. He did all the same things he did on The Apprentice. All right? And it worked. And by the way, the people who are, earning the ad revenue, and mostly, by the way, from pharmaceutical companies, drug ads, you turn on any primetime television show or 9 o'clock show, and a lot of them are military-based dramas where there's a lot of gunfire, a lot of shooting, a lot of people dying, and FBI and all these new shows that are on TV. They're all going to be sponsored. The military-industrial complex being portrayed favorably, all going to be brought to you by Pfizer. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't make this stuff up. And then if you talk about it, people think you're crazy. And like the New York Times, they think you're a conspiracy nut. Just turn on the TV and you'll see who's sponsoring this stuff. This episode of Hawaii Five-0 is being brought to you by the people that brought you the opioid crisis. Folks, we're in deep doo-doo here. We just are. I'm laughing because I have to try to have a sense of humor. Because if I get too serious and I look at this And I look at my 5-year-old, and I got a 15-year-old here too, and they're growing up into a world where opportunities are going to be limited. And if you don't go into the military, and if you don't get a crap load of student debt, and if you don't buy into identity politics and speak a certain way, and you hide from truth because you're afraid to offend a professor or a media person or whoever it is, it's really going to limit your ability as a human being to kind of just interact normally. So that's my video. It's going to be a weird night tonight. Again, Tom Steyer. I'm really worried about this guy. And it's going to be ongoing. Even if Steyer doesn't make a big splash tonight, he's in the debate. He wasn't in the debate before. He's in the debate, and I can't see his poll numbers going down after tonight, which should really scare everybody who wants a real choice for president. Imagine having Steyer against Trump. One billionaire real estate mogul, whatever you want to call it, against the billionaire hedge fund manager. And how does the working class have a choice? Green Party. Independent. And you'd have to do it in mass quantities, and you got to get on the ballot in all 50 states, and you got to use media like this, like I'm using, to spread this message and to bypass the so-called gatekeepers at the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, and all the other major old networks. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you can support me over on Patreon, I had some really nice folks yesterday donate. I was going to read their names or just say who they were. Unfortunately, if I tried doing that and going back to the email list, well, I can try here. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, then, no loss. I think the last time I tried to do this, I had all kinds of pop-ups that got in the way. Well, let's see if I can get in and just thank those people for donating. Again, you can donate via PayPal. You can also donate. Oh, let me see here. It looks like I can't see the names. Oh, no. So that didn't work. I tried. Let me see. Inbox. Oh, here we go. All right. So let's see if I can do this. I want to thank Lawrence Johnson. Gave $10. Also, Thomas Skillman gave $20. Thank you so much. And Robert Galfus. Going to just take a stab at that and say, I'm sorry. It's Tom Steyer again. Wow. I didn't mean to do that. That's scary. All right, folks. I'm done. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. If you can help me out via Patreon or PayPal, it's much appreciated. And we'll do this again very soon. Go Tulsi tonight. Go Bernie. See you soon.